friends call me Butch. I had the only public-private sector partnership between the government and the private sector. And DSpace is one of the partners. JP Morgan, Department of Science and Technology, Department of Space and Industry. It's called Kubo Innovation Hub because we have an actual Bahay Kubo in our hub. And it's open to everybody. And we're hoping to find that.
Thank you, Butch. And now for Willie, maybe a quick introduction for yourself.
Hi, my name is Willie. I started as an entrepreneur in technology, and photography was my hobby until one day I decided, hey, what if we can merge it together? And I could project photos from my camera to the screen straight away, and it was a hit, and I started the company. So now, photography is my profession, and technology remains my passion.
Thank you. And Diane.
Hi, I'm Diane. I'm actually a dolphin. And dolphins are known to be good friends, and I really want to be a very good friend to the entrepreneurs. And so we started Idea Space 7 years ago, always preparing the entrepreneurs for the shark tank, because all that they said out there is real. So that's what we do. We help entrepreneurs prepare for investors and bigger markets.
Thank you, Diane. Okay, so I hope you've all enjoyed the Onepreneur episode. I'm going to go around, and since I am showing to the mic, I'm going to start with her. So tell us what you think about the episode we just watched, the segment.
I was laughing because I meet them. They're real, and all the inventors. I remember when we started Idea Space, and we made a courtesy call to one of the undersecretaries of the Department of Science and Technology. I won't name him because it's going to hurt the inventors. He said, stay away from the inventors. Because the inventors really are just after just wanting to invent. They want more money so that they can invent another product. We are here to find the inventors who want to commercialize their products. And so he said, I think it was very good advice to stay away from the inventors. And that's a entrepreneur. There's another entrepreneur we call in the government that we always joke about, the grant-opreneur. He's always going from one grant after another grant and another grant, always looking for free money. That's not how it should be. I don't know what I did.
No, I think you're. Yeah, you really.
These guys, they have their game faces on, and the difference is that they're willing to tell you the truth. I mean, they're very honest, they're very frank, and they're very brutal. And it's, we've been on several panels together. We always give honest feedback, but that they have that cutting edge. You know, Mark Cuban, like Kevin O'Leary, they can be nasty when they're, and it's not a big deal. The guy can take it. But I felt sorry for the guy, and and I found it interesting that he let his girlfriend take the risks with the surfboard.
And Willie?
Yeah, but it's TV. It's a bit more dramatized, and they've got very limited time, and most of them don't have a second chance. But however, in this case, he actually came back a couple of years later, did another pitch, and another guy, Robert, I think, he invested 500,000 for 10%, which is way higher than that, and that was given a second chance. This one, same one. So we learned. He changed his pitch, and sometimes the market, you're not ready for that yet, and you have to really prepare yourself for the right pitch for the right time.
I think that's a great lesson. I never thought that he'd succeed, but the fact that he was able to pivot, as we always say, and change his design, or maybe he made it less expensive, but that's a lot of money to pay for one thing. And that he succeeded, he got the money. I think it's a good lesson for our entrepreneurs who are here.
Thank you very much, Butch, Willie, and Diane. So now we're here on Shark Tank launch, and I'm sure there'll be a couple of burning questions that I'm going to be throwing at our panelists today. So as we know, and some of us who are aware in the ecosystem, Southeast Asia is a hotbed for investment and capital access today. the last report is showing us at more than $4.24 billion have gone into Southeast Asia funding for tech startups. And this number has accelerated by 52% over the last 3 years. So it's a massive jump. So the burning question for me, Butch, you're next to me, you will get the first burning questions. Is that, do you think there's any top factors that contributed to that?
Well, there are a couple, Debbie. First of all, we've got a young population, and the incomes all across the region are increasing. And there's a greater awareness among young people like me that, about Google, Facebook, you name the top companies in the world today, and they all started in somebody's garage or in an accelerator just like this. And so we're just looking for that unicorn here in the Philippines, which will bring the whole system up. And so I think Southeast Asia is the place to be, and I think Manila and the Philippines in general is also the place to be.
Good one, good one. And maybe to Diane, and what do you think about it? What do you think the top factors?
I agree. Market is a big factor. The other factor also is that the maturity of the entrepreneurs. 7 years ago when we started, idea-based sources, startups through a competition. So we saw a lot of two-sided markets. I mean, people looking for carpenters and carpenters wanting to get on a platform, things like that. But they really didn't know how to build the solution. So they have the idea, but they don't know how to build the solution. But when people got exposed to Grab and when Uber came, they understood, oh, so that's how a two-sided market works, and that's how the tech works. So they were hiring people here to, build part of the tech, and so I think the ecosystem is growing, and there are more people who know how to build the products themselves. So it's very exciting, and as I said, the market is there, and there's so many pain points that need to be solved. So where there's pain, there's something just out there waiting to. Where there's pain, there's a market.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So just to sum up, I think what you're saying on the population size, and I think definitely Manila is of course quite big for that they contributed to capital access. And Diane's take is that the society is starting to be more ready, right, in terms of the readiness to adopt technology, and there's a talent pool whose ability to kind of bring that forward. So I think this is sort of a quick sum up. I think now moving to Willie, specifically as a sort of external person looking into the ecosystem. Tell us a little bit more about what are your top picks for IT technology in the Philippines startup scene. What are the top sort of your hot favorites here in this part of in this country?
I think the one that stands out. I think the one that stands out more is Revolution Precrafted, the one that builds luxury prefabricated homes. And it stands out among the rest because it's different. And they think out of the box. They don't limit themselves to a region. They think global. And from a marketing standpoint, it already stands out from the rest of the others. If they're pushing a VC and everything else looks the same, that at least gets the foot through the door. It may not necessarily give you the money yet, but it gets you the first step in. And it's up to the rest, your preparation, understanding the market for that. And it's not that they're the first. There are a lot of prefabricated homes, but they looked at it and said, hey, there's a segment in the luxury prefabricated homes. And there's always space for two leaders in each segment of the market. So they found an open market and they went for it.
Okay, thank you. I think that's a bit of a surprise, but I think there's always interesting segments that's yet to tap into. So I think let's move into another hot question that I have. We just seen 5 sharks at Shark Tank on Tech Storm. So the question is, do we have sharks in the Philippines? And of course I'm going to throw that hot question at
There's a
Butch.
dolphin here? What are you?
So Diane had just said, and Butch, what do you think? Do you consider yourself a shark? And of course, the second question I have is to follow through on the question of corporate venture capital, which is the rise of CVCs, where we've seen quite prevalent today. And would you care to comment on the 2 questions?
Sure. And I'm a shark only in the sense that I think it's important for a startup to have a great business model. It's not enough to have a good idea. You've got to have a way to make money, because time and again, you get pitched all these different ideas, There are so many issues that need to be solved, but if you can't find a way to make money, you're not sustainable. And it's better to tell somebody, find, don't quit your day job, or, find another line of business, or maybe you need to pivot, or you should join the accelerator programs of Idea Space and other hubs. But I think it's important to tell people the truth, but I'm also hopeful about the future over here, that we're just on the cusp of finding that unicorn that will lift everybody up.
I think it's very heartening to see that there is a desire to get Philippines' first unicorn, okay? So we're rooting for you guys in Philippines. We hope to be able to share that on PaxRom. Okay, and now moving the mic to Diane. You said that you're a dolphin, but still I have to ask you this question, Would you consider yourself as an investment dolphin? Would you also investment shark? And also, would you comment on the CBC model here that's rising? Yeah.
Yeah, for the CBC, I think it's a big driver. What I noticed is very hard for B2C market. It's very, very hard for startups that are addressing the B2C market here, because it's hard for them to access the capital, and you need a lot more capital when you're doing B2C. And then there's so many manual processes across corporations. So corporations themselves are putting their money in to look for solutions that would help them stay in business. So I noticed that a lot of family corporations are putting their money into some funds to fund startups. So I think it's a great driver for the ecosystem, the corporate venture capital. The other part is me being a dolphin. But in the room with the startups, I'm as bad as a shark. Yeah, you need to.
Now she's talking.
Yeah, you need to be tough. You need to really give tough love. And my job as an accelerator manager is to put them in a pressure cooker. You see, I was just sharing one of our teammates this morning, and he was getting tips and so, how do we do this and how do we do that. I said, I love it when I have to make friction. I cause friction in the team. Sometimes it's not out of wanting to see a team fall apart, but it's because you need to put them in that pressure cooker moment. And that's our job in the accelerator, is to, if they pop and they break down, they're not ready for the world after Idea Space, or the world after an accelerator, because it's even tougher when there's no one there guiding you or holding your hand or helping you through it. So they have to survive the program in Idea Space, the pressure cooker, and my eagerness to cause friction in the team.
So now she's giving us an idea what is it like to be in Idea Space, right? Yeah, but I think we've seen a lot of startups, I think the average failure rate in Silicon Valley is probably in the region of about 98%. So that translates to, I would say, maybe one or less than one out of every 10 startups that has actually started, has pushed through the concept stage, has eventually evolved. What are the numbers, just as a side question, I think what are the sort of average numbers that you're seeing in your program today?
Well, in our program, it's about after 5 years, so that's a test. So when we started Idea Space, and we said after 2 years, we said, we still have 7% of the startups still alive. The more experienced VC said, come back to me after 5 years. But I'm happy to say that after 6 years from the first batch, there are still 3 of them alive.